thing that I had Jordan watch was a movie called Buried with Ryan Reynolds. Before we get into what Jordan's updated thoughts on it, I'm gonna link it in the description of this video that you can go and watch it. I'm pretty sure I still have it on YouTube. But we years and years ago did a review of this movie where I said it was the worst movie I had ever seen, and I was very angry about it. I was so mad. I said a lot of curse words in it. It's very entertaining. Score this one, Jordan.
1.
Yeah, I'm 0.5 out of shitty movies.
I'm just because it has Ryan Reynolds in it. I'm gonna give it credit.
That's why it gets half a fucking pity point. It is awful. Don't watch this movie.
It's got.
I'd like to go back and watch that.
But we put Ryan Reynolds in a bubble and we protected him and we said he didn't deserve to be in this piece of shit movie. And then I rewatched it for TikTok and I made a video because I tried to jumpstart a series where it was like change my mind. It didn't catch on, but I talked about how I rewatched this and I changed my mind on it, and my newfound appreciation as I exist in my current iteration of film loving is a big fan of performance and good performance and a good direction. And so with that, we begin Jordan's thoughts on the movie Buried by asking him, what are your updated thoughts on this movie?
Okay, well, before I can answer that, I have to say that I have to watch that video. I don't remember exactly what I said all those years ago, but I do know that I had the opinion, and I do still have this opinion, that it would make a better book or book on tape or audio book or what have you.
I don't disagree.
than it does a movie, simply because you can get inside the character's head.
I would also
you can hear what they're thinking. You can hear what they're feeling, and it gives you more of an opportunity to kind of delve into the inside of his head.
I would also say that to do it with a bit of production value, like an Audible original, and have Ryan Reynolds read it.
Oh, that would be great.
It would be very good. I think as an audio drama, just removed from what I think of the movie itself.
Now, having prefaced with that, I wouldn't say that my thoughts have changed per se, so much as I would say that they've evolved, much like I, as a person, have evolved.
I know exactly what you mean.
So I can more properly articulate this time that I like the story. I think that it is a very good, very intense story. And one of the things that I can really say this time around is I have a lot more of a healthy respect for an actor who can hold the entire movie, or at least 70 to 80% of the movie, by himself.
Yeah, in one location, in one spot,
in a
lighting.
Very basic, very low light.
Yeah.
And I don't like tight spaces. And this movie really, really evokes that feeling in me. I felt uncomfortable.
Well, which is so interesting.
Like tight and squeezed in. And it made me, that is my nightmare. At least one of my nightmares.
What is very interesting is that's what people said coming out of it in the theater back when we first watched it. And we hated the presentation of it, the story, and just like, didn't appreciate it in quite the way that I do now, because I don't know, maybe it's because I know how the sausage is made. Maybe it's because I have an idea of how just what goes into doing a movie like that. That I just appreciate it more now.
That being said, I do still think that the movie would be a little bit stronger, and it wouldn't even pad out the runtime that much if you had a simple scene where it's him in the truck driving and getting captured.
Just do it.
I think having that first scene where he's not in the box and he gets put in the box makes it just adds a little bit more weight.
Doesn't it opens with a pretty decently long opening credits, right? It has opening credits, or does it immediately start with him in the
Uh,
box?
I mean, he's just always in the box.
Because what I was gonna say is, do opening credits and just do it over the opening credits.
Yeah. Like
Nice
it's
and
not a
easy.
hard thing. And
Yeah.
that's all that it really needs. Like you don't need to have scenes where you're cutting to these people that he's talking to and you're
No.
seeing them.
We used to
Like
say
you don't
that, but
need
no, you
I
don't.
used I used to say that, but you don't need that. All I think that it needs, the only thing I would add is that first scene where he gets like where you find out where you see him before the box.
Well, yeah, you see him and
Even
he's because he's just a construction guy, right? You just see him doing construction, and then
he's a
yeah,
delivery guy.
you just see his
He's
truck,
driving a truck.
and you see it explode, and then black,
Yeah.
and then the movie opens and he's in the box.
Like to me that's all you need.
Yeah,
Um uh or like yeah, like you see him in the truck driving through the streets and you see some of the things that he later describes where like he sees the people like throwing the rocks at his car and then you see the explosion and then it's in the box.
yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah,
to me that's all you need.
yeah.
Um but um what else did I have to say? Um
Do you still believe that it's the worst movie you've ever seen?
oh no, definitely not. I don't know what would fall into that category at this moment in time,
It's
but
hard. My opinion on the worst blank I've ever seen. It becomes
it sh-
harder and harder to say that because I've seen a lot of bad movies.
yeah,
It's hard to like,
it's a scale,
yeah.
like a
Like
sliding
today
scale.
it's Trump versus the Illuminati, but tomorrow it might be something different. You never know. Monday it might be Miss Marvel, or the Marvels because I plan to watch that on the plane. Um,
Yeah, that one's okay.
oh, did you watch it?
I did, yeah. That
Uh,
one's okay.
is it? Is it as bad as everyone says it is?
It didn't pass the phone test.
No, no. I plan
No.
that and Aquaman. I plan to watch on the plane. We were actually gonna do. I was actually gonna do a what we missed last year for the finale, but I changed my mind. Um, all
So,
right.
next question for me.
Yeah. Next question. Buried. Um, I don't know if I have any else. Other than to say that my favorite scene in that movie is where he phones his like sister-in-law, I think, and he's trying to get
Oh
her to
yeah,
help, and he just starts yelling at her, and she hangs up on him, and he
freaking
phones
out.
back, yeah, and he's like, I'm sorry, I yelled at you, and it's because you're seeing it from his perspective. You're just like, yeah,
Uh,
man, I get it, I get his frustration. That and the
oh
ending
yeah,
is genuinely upsetting.
yeah, that is. I suppose I do have one more thing to say about it, about the movie is, and this is more just a commentary on Ryan Reynolds himself, is if you've only ever seen him do comedy movies,
Yeah,
this is a great example of getting to see him stretch his acting legs and do something different. And
yeah.
so it's